it seems like there were two factors going on. First of all, the way the environment was set up, it was going to be very difficult for Obama to do well. The economy was not good, unemployment was high. His signature achievement, healthcare reform, was not something that most Americans were excited about. So we knew it was going to be a difficult year for him. So the question is, why does he win, given that? And I think there were two factors. The first factor is that the Republicans did not run a particularly strong candidate. I think Mitt Romney could have been a very strong candidate, but what he had to do in order to win the Republican primaries is he had to move far to the right, which made it very difficult for him to pivot back to the center. And so a lot of his positions, I think, it was easy for the Obama administration to paint him as out of touch with middle America. And so I think that really helped him. But the other thing that was going on is I think Obama ran a really good campaign. His ground game that he'd been talking about for months, and a lot of pundits were concerned about that, was terrific. And he did not focus on a national strategy, but really focused on the key states and actually the key demographics within those states, targeting those voters, and he was terrific. If we think about the modern presidency, the Republicans have had a real advantage. We think of the modern presidencies as after World War II. But we seem to be in a new era where the demographics are really changing. And so the Democrats are doing much better. If you look at the last 6 presidential elections, the Democrats have won 4 of those 6. And the 2 that the Republicans won, the first one was George Bush running as a very moderate Republican. He was running as a compassionate conservative. And then his reelection, he won only because the focus on the war. So I think that if you look at the overall demographics, they are really trending much more towards the Democratic Party. If you look at the women's vote, Hispanic vote, young people's vote, those are all trending towards the Democrats. So I think that Obama, what we're seeing in this reelection is a real sea change in kind of presidential elections. The next government that we're going to have, the next Congress, is very similar to the last one. And the last Congress, the 112th Congress, was full of gridlock, and it was not very productive. So the question is, are we going to have 2 or 4 more years of gridlock? Well, we're going to have the same players, the same Speaker of the House, the same Majority Leader, and the same President. And so some indications are maybe we're going to have gridlock. But I think there is a strong chance that things are going to change. Budget Control Act of 2011 basically has set up that for December 31st at midnight, a whole sea change of things are going to happen. All the Bush tax cuts are going away. There's going to be an increase in the payroll tax of 2%, and there's a whole bunch of discretionary spending, both military and domestic, that's going to happen. And so I don't think either the Democratic or Republican Party wants to be blamed if that happens, because most economists say if that happens, our economy is likely to go back into recession. So I think there's going to be a tremendous incentive for both President Obama as well as the Republicans that control the House to come together with some kind of compromise. So I think there's some hope in the short run that the two are going to come together to try and solve that problem.